Moscow, August 1939. The world holds its breath as two sworn enemies shake hands over a deal that will plunge humanity into its darkest chapter. Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia, bitter ideological rivals, just signed a pact that makes no sense. Fascists and communists suddenly allies. But here's what nobody knew. Hidden in the fine print was a secret agreement to carve up Eastern Europe like a butcher dividing meat. Poland, the Baltic nations, chunks of Romania, all bargaining chips in a game that would cost 60 million lives. The man holding the pen for Germany, a champagne salesman turned diplomat who slept with a king's mistress, insulted every foreign leader he met, and would die choking at the end of a rope for his crimes against humanity. This is the story of Joachim von Ribbentrop, Hitler's most loyal lapdog and Nazi Germany's architect of catastrophe. But before we dive into this twisted tale of ambition, betrayal, and ultimate justice, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're Timeless World, bringing you the most shocking true stories from history that Hollywood couldn't dream up. Now, let's meet the man who helped start World War II. Chapter 1. The Social Climber. April 30, 1893. A baby screams into existence in Wessel, a forgettable German town. His father, Richard Ribbentrop, wears a Prussian army uniform with pride. His mother, Johanna, comes from landed gentry with more land than money. Young Joachim bounces between cities as military brats do, never settling, never belonging. His teachers notice something off about him, cocky but dim, quick to speak but slow to think. Here's where the story gets interesting. In 1908, his father gets the boot from the military for publicly trashing Kaiser Wilhelm II. Career over, reputation destroyed. The family flees to Switzerland, where teenage Joachim discovers mountain sports and expensive hobbies that don't match their bank account. 2 years later, at 17, he sails to Canada chasing the dream of self-made success. He dabbles in business, learns the hustle, polishes his English. But when the guns of August 1914 start firing across Europe, Joachim abandons his Canadian adventure and rushes home to don the uniform. He fights, gets wounded, earns an Iron Cross. By war's end, he's pushing papers in Constantinople, far from the trenches where real soldiers die. When Germany collapses in 1918, he returns to a nation drowning in chaos, poverty, and humiliation. Chapter 2. Buying a title, selling his soul. 1920 brings Joachim his golden ticket, marriage to Anna Elizabeth Hinkel, daughter of a champagne and wine empire. Suddenly, the struggling veteran has money, connections, and access to rooms where decisions get made. He launches a wine import business, traveling Europe, shaking hands, making deals. He's charming when he needs to be, ruthless when he doesn't. But here's the kicker. In 1925, he legally gets adopted by a distant relative just to add von to his name, Joachim von Ribbentrop, instant aristocrat. Critics mock him mercilessly, a commoner playing dress-up in borrowed nobility. Yet the fake title works, doors swing open, conservative elites accept him as one of their own, even if they whisper behind their back. Then comes 1928. Someone introduces Ribbentrop to a failed artist turned political agitator named Adolf Hitler. 4 years later, Ribbentrop and his wife join Hitler's Nazi party. Why? Opportunity. Ribbentrop sees Hitler rising and wants a front row seat to power. He offers his mansion for secret meetings, his money for propaganda, his connections to legitimize Hitler among industrialists and generals. January 1933. In Ribbentrop's Berlin home, the final conspiracy unfolds. Conservative politicians, convinced they can control Hitler, agree to support him as chancellor. Within weeks, democracy dies. Ribbentrop helped kill it. Hitler adores this social climbing sycophant. Why? Because Ribbentrop speaks languages, throws lavish parties, and never questions orders. A German diplomat later recalled, Ribbentrop understood nothing about foreign policy. His only goal was making Hitler happy. Chapter 3. The Ambassador from Hell. 1934, Hitler names Ribbentrop Special Commissioner for Disarmament, a joke title for a man helping Germany secretly rearm in violation of the Treaty of Versailles. Publicly, Ribbentrop preaches peace. Privately, he coordinates illegal weapons production. His first major win, the 1935 Anglo-German Naval Agreement, letting Germany rebuild its navy to 35% of Britain's size. London thinks it's containing German ambitions. Ribbentrop knows they've been played. By 1936, Hitler appoints him ambassador to the United Kingdom. This decision proved disastrous. Ribbentrop arrives in London with Nazi arrogance and zero diplomatic skill. He summons British tailors, makes them wait for hours, then sends them away without meeting. He repeats the sadistic game day after day. February 37
The moment that defines his tenure. Meeting King George VI, Ribbentrop doesn't bow. Instead, he clicks his heels, thrusts his arm forward, and shouts, "Heil Hitler!" The British aristocracy freezes in horror. But wait, it gets worse, way worse. According to Duke Karl Alexander of Württemberg, Ribbentrop was sleeping with Wallis Simpson, the American divorcee who would marry England's King Edward VIII. Simpson, suspected of Nazi sympathies, allegedly fed Ribbentrop royal secrets while carrying on their affair. Imagine the scandal: Hitler's ambassador betting the king's lover, turning pillow talk into intelligence gold. British officials despise him. Hermann Göring, Hitler's second-in-command, warns the Führer, Ribbentrop's a stupid ass. German diplomats privately call him lazy, worthless, vain, and ambitious beyond his abilities. By 1938, Ribbentrop's London mission collapses. He returns to Germany, having alienated Britain's entire political class and nursing a burning hatred for the country that rejected him. Chapter 4: Foreign Minister of Disaster. February 1938, Hitler fires his cautious foreign minister and installs Ribbentrop, signaling Germany's shift toward aggressive war. The old diplomatic guard recognizes disaster approaching. Ribbentrop supports conflict over negotiation every time. September 1938 brings the Munich Agreement. Britain and France surrender Czechoslovakia's Sudetenland to Germany without firing a shot. Everyone celebrates the peace, except Ribbentrop. He sulks in corners complaining, "First-class stupidity. Now we fight the English in a year when they're better armed. War should have come now." His greatest triumph arrives August 1939. Ribbentrop flies to Moscow and signs the Nazi-Soviet pact with Soviet Foreign Minister Molotov. The public sees a non-aggression treaty. The secret protocol divides Eastern Europe between two totalitarian monsters. Hitler gets a green light to invade Poland from the west, while Stalin attacks from the east. Days later, September 1st, 1939, German tanks roll into Poland. Britain and France declare war. The Second World War begins, and Ribbentrop helped light the fuse. Over the next 2 years, he builds the Axis alliance, negotiating pacts with Italy, Japan, Hungary, Romania, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Finland. He campaigns for Hitler's new order, a Nazi empire stretching from the Atlantic to the Urals. Chapter 5: The Bureaucrat of Genocide. But Ribbentrop's foreign ministry does more than sign treaties. It facilitates genocide. Ribbentrop issues formal demands for anti-Jewish legislation in Allied countries. He sends diplomatic notes ordering the deportation of Jews to extermination camps. He uses sanitized language, resettlement, labor mobilization to disguise mass murder. His ministry provides the bureaucratic machinery that feeds Hitler's death camps. Diplomatic cables bearing Ribbentrop's signature condemn hundreds of thousands to gas chambers. He doesn't pull triggers or operate crematoriums. He doesn't need to. His memos and treaties do the killing for him. Here's the twisted part. Ribbentrop opposed Hitler's 1941 invasion of the Soviet Union. Not for moral reasons, he actually admired Stalin. His objection was strategic. He considered Britain, not Russia, Germany's real enemy. According to reports, he told a Soviet diplomat, "Tell Stalin I opposed this war. It will bring Germany great misfortune." Hitler ignored him. Operation Barbarossa launched anyway. Ribbentrop's influence begins its terminal decline. Chapter 6: The Fall. As Allied and Soviet forces close in from all sides, Ribbentrop becomes irrelevant. Most nations are fighting Germany. Diplomacy offers no solutions. Hitler retreats into his bunker, issuing delusional orders while his empire crumbles. July 1944, German officers attempt assassinating Hitler. The plot fails. Though Ribbentrop knew nothing about it, he eagerly helps purge the foreign ministry of suspected conspirators, desperate to prove his loyalty. During one heated argument after the assassination attempt, Hermann Göring explodes at Ribbentrop. "You dirty little champagne salesman, shut your mouth." When Göring threatens physical violence, Ribbentrop screams back, "I'm still the foreign minister, and my name is von Ribbentrop." April 20th, 1945, Ribbentrop attends Hitler's 56th and final birthday party in Berlin. 3 days later, he tries visiting Hitler one last time. Rejected. The Führer is busy. Translation: "You're worthless now." As Berlin falls, Ribbentrop flees under a false identity. June 14th, 1945, British troops arrest him in Hamburg. He tries maintaining his disguise. They recognize him anyway. Chapter 7: Justice at Nuremberg. November 1945, Ribbentrop stands trial at Nuremberg's International Military Tribunal alongside other Nazi leaders. The charges: crimes against peace, war crimes, crimes against humanity. The evidence: overwhelming. Prosecutors present his role planning wars of aggression against
Austria, Czechoslovakia, Poland. They document his facilitation of Holocaust deportations. They prove his ministry's complicity in prisoner of war abuses. Ribbentrop's defense: "I just followed orders. Hitler made all decisions. He deceived me with peace talk." But in his cell, away from judges, he reveals his true beliefs. "Even knowing everything, if Hitler walked into this cell and said, 'Do this,' I would still obey." October 1, 1946. Guilty on all counts. Sentence: death by hanging.
October 16th, 1946, 1:11 a.m. Ribbentrop walks to the gallows, becoming the first Nazi leader executed at Nuremberg. His final words, "God protect Germany. God have mercy on my soul. I wish peace to the world." Then comes the botched execution. American Sergeant John C. Woods, the hangman, miscalculates the drop. Ribbentrop doesn't die quickly. He strangles slowly, choking for 14 agonizing minutes while witnesses watch in horror. Some call it accidental incompetence. Others whisper it was deliberate, rough justice for a man whose diplomatic cables sent millions to their deaths. He's 53 years old. His body, along with other executed Nazi leaders and Hermann Göring, who cheated the news with cyanide, gets cremated. Authorities scatter the ashes in the Winsbach River, a small tributary of the Isar. No grave, no memorial, no shrine for future Nazi sympathizers to worship. Joachim von Ribbentrop's story isn't just about one ambitious social climber who balked the wrong horse. It's about how mediocre men enable monstrous evil, how bureaucrats facilitate genocide with memos and treaties, how diplomatic language masks crimes against humanity. Ribbentrop had no remarkable talents. He wasn't a military genius like Rommel or a propaganda master like Goebbels. He was just a champagne salesman with a fake title who told Hitler what Hitler wanted to hear. That made him valuable. That made him dangerous. That made him guilty. His carefully cultivated image, the aristocrat, the worldly diplomat, the sophisticated negotiator, all collapsed at Nuremberg. The trial revealed the truth. A shallow opportunist who traded millions of lives for proximity to power. The rope that killed Ribbentrop delivered justice. Imperfect, delayed, but justice nonetheless. This is the kind of deep dive history you won't find anywhere else. We're Timeless World, committed to bringing you the most compelling, most shocking, most important stories from humanity's past. If this video opened your eyes to history's darkest corners, smash that like button. Subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss another episode. Drop a comment telling us which historical figure we should investigate next. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Understanding monsters like Ribbentrop helps us recognize warning signs before they appear again. Share this video, spread the knowledge, remember the victims, learn the lessons. Thanks for watching Timeless World. We'll see you in the next one.